Hey first graders, welcome to today's unit study lesson where we're going to talk more about fractured fairy tales. We hope that you've enjoyed this new assignment in EPIC and have begun reading some of those fairy tales. These are some of my favorite books to read. I love the way that the authors reinvent classic fairy tales to make their own fractured fairy tales. So today we're going to explore fractured fairy tales a little bit more and what an author does to create their own fractured fairy tale. So, fairy tales, as we know, are these beautiful, amazing stories that have been passed down through generations. Well, fractured fairy tales have become much more popular recently. Authors saw those classic fairy tales and wanted to give them a new twist for a modern or today's audience and kids like you nowadays. To write fractured fairy tales, authors change one or more of elements of the classic fairy tale. Take a second to remember the elements of a fairy tale that we've been discussing. Pause the video now and see if you can name all 6 elements that we've been talking about. Great, welcome back. Did you remember all 6? Good characters, evil characters, magic, the element of 3, problem, and a solution. Now, while authors of fairy tales can choose one or more of those elements and change them to make their fractured fairy tales, this might be as simple as changing the good character in a story from a princess to a penguin, or an evil character from a wolf to an orca, like I'm doing in my fairy tale. Authors could also change many of the characters in the story and give it a life of their own to tell it a way that they would like. Authors could also take characters from multiple fairy tales or different stories and combine them like some of the stories you've seen in your EPIC collection from Hilary Robinson and Simona Sanfilippo. Those stories have been amazing. I hope you're enjoying them. Authors may also change other story elements, such as the setting or the point of view. The setting could include not only where the story is happening, but also when. You could take the story of Rapunzel and put it in modern day New York City apartments. Many authors write their fractured fairy tales to be in present times happening now instead of once upon a time or long ago. The point of view is who's telling the story. This is a great way that authors create fractured fairy tales, like telling the story of 3 little pigs from the wolf's point of view instead of the 3 little pigs' point of view. We hope that you're enjoying the fractured fairy tales you've been assigned. Keep up your reading now and follow me to the next reading video to see how I explore how John Sciesca adapted the classic 3 Little Pigs story.